We are about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014 as you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California.
The kicker, Jake Moody's got it teed up, and we are underway now from Santa Clara. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry now for the LSU alum, Ty Davis-Price. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You look at this Niner defense.
We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
Throwing is Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. On the move to his left.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big time throw on 4th.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
Now it's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. Again, Wilson.
That's complete to his running back, Taylor.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 4. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. That is caught at the 7.
And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll run here with Taylor.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets them down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Davis Price will take it in. Touchdown, Denver. Anders Carlson now for the point after.
He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either, and it's 7-0. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Now a man whose father won 2 rings as a Bronco, it's Christian McCaffrey. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Let's go.
2nd down and right back to McCaffrey. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
The Niners at 9-7 now on the year. Now, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So, you know, they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
A give running left now, Garindo.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Third and 9 here. Now Richardson.
Flush to his right. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. elected to run for it. The decision a good one, picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and his early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Here's Guerrero on first down.
And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
But you look at this Bronco defense.
They're just below the cut line for top half of the league, 17th in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Let's one go downfield for Pierce.
And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
19 Lions.
Richardson. Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. And the Broncos will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
A short one here, caught by McBride.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. Here's Wilson.
That is caught by Vele.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. Play action. Now Wilson rolling to his right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
I thought at first he tried to run, but he just kept buying time to his right. Finally, nothing there. He wisely gets rid of it.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Taylor.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Now it's Wilson. And the Niners get there and bring him down. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. And this one is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off, and that will force a turnover on downs.
A handoff running right, Guerrero.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Now 2nd and 5. In motion right goes Reed. And he'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Dancing to his left. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Jake Moody now on for the field goal.
Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. And his kick is good.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, they're coming off a 4th down gamble that last drive that backfired CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they want to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on 4th down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off in points for themselves.
Second down and 6 now from the 26.
To throw is Wilson. Being chased out left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And once he escaped the pocket there, he tried to keep those eyes downfield, but nothing was materializing. So he makes a smart move and gets that to the sideline.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Wilson.
A short one here, caught by McBride.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the shotgun, Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
The game clock sitting at 2:02, so they'll get one play before the 2-minute warning. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And some room to maneuver. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. They go play action with Wilson. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
They give to Taylor out of the gun.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
59 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well executed there on second down, so do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Play action. It's Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They go play action now. Wilson rolling to his left.
He throws it on the move, but can't connect. As that falls incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Fights through him.
And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. One first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And with decent starting field position, they're maybe only a couple completions away from field goal range. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And now a half not quite over yet. This is a live football on the miss.
That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Second and 10. Richardson looking to throw this. He'll get this one to Kelsey. That's complete.
A solid stiff arm.
And he's going to be shoved out, but not before he gets this down to the 20-yard line.
A big play there for the Niners. 57 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately. I have to think a major focus at the halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Here we go. Here we go.
Richardson out of the shotgun.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
Let's go.
Richardson looking to throw.
Eluding the pressure right. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Wilson. That's taken in by Franklin. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Taylor. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 77 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Obviously an important run to avoid the 3 and out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the 1st down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit, too. Allows them to get it.
This is caught inside the 15. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A huge play there for Denver. 44 yards.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. On the counter, it's Taylor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
3rd quarter action here, this regular season finale. This will be 2nd and 10. Wilson. He'll drop this down to Taylor.
Showed off the juke, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson out to his left.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown.
Trey McBride, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to extend their lead.
That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away.
And running with power here. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Second and 10 here as we roll along in quarter number 3 from Santa Clara.
Here we go.
Here's Richardson to throw. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Now it's Richardson.
Flushed out right.
He's got the first down.
Oh, what a juke into space. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll move the chains.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 42-yard line. In motion right comes Reed.
And now a fake on the jet sweep, and instead they'll give it to McCaffrey.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
From the 38 now, here's a 2nd down and 6. Back to throw. Here's Richardson.
That's to McCaffrey, complete. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go. Ready?
On the give, it's Garindo to the 27-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second down and 6 now.
Let's go.
Now Richardson back to throw it.
Escaping the pressure right. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Richardson. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So here we go. It's Jake Moody now in a big spot.
From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Jake Moody to kick off for the 49ers.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10.
Just because you got the lead in the fourth, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Now Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Steps away. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. They'll get 34 yards there.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Wilson.
Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. Play action. Now Wilson sliding out of the pocket. And he'll just get rid of it.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football to places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
86 yards rushing for him so far in this one as he nears 1,400 for the year.
Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front. And it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking down.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver.
Jonathan Taylor
with career touchdown number 96. He joins Eric Dickerson on the all-time list.
And the Broncos add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory.
And now the offense is going to stay out there as the Broncos will go for 2.
The Broncos will line up for the two-point conversion.
They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more.
And we're going to stop play here, at least momentarily. It looks like there is a 49er who's in some discomfort. Well, week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside.
The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory. Down at the 31. Touchdown, 49ers!
Christian McCaffrey with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the 49ers are able to cut into that deficit. So this now a 9-point difference. You figure the book here says kick the extra point, make it a 1-score game.
Now, you and I have seen coaches get overly aggressive in this spot, but I agree with you. Kick it here and get back within a score.
Moody good with the extra point.
As this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So 2nd and 4 from the 22.
Now a give to Taylor. Shedding the tackle. Every yard they gain, getting them better and better field position. And obviously, a field goal makes this a 2-score contest. That's really all they need.
And that means for your play caller, he's not looking to the attack portion of the sheet, right? He's looking for, okay, what do we have that's going to keep us in a good spot? No lost yardage plays. Let's kick a field goal and go up 2 scores. If we score a touchdown, great. But that's not what you're really playing for.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
Here's 1st and 10. Richardson.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
And the Broncos are going to take over here up near the 40. But here in the fourth quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
That one complete down the field to Smith.
And all the way home for a Broncos score.
Irv Smith Jr.,
61 yards.
and the Broncos are on their way to a 13th win on the year as they add on to their lead. Carlson's extra point up and good.
And the lead is up to 18 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Trap 60, trap 60. He needs 6 on this drive.
Richardson.
They'll roll him out right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Broncos are going to get the football back at their own 17. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here's a 2nd and 8. On the counter, Davis Price.
Gets this up across the 20 to the 21 or 22. Did show some power on that run, breaking the tackle. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Throwing is Wilson. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
One last shot for Richardson.
He'll buy some time right. And this is caught at the 8. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror